Hey guys, I told you I'd be back to talk with you about the second part. So I'm still in sign chart intro. That is number 15. Sign chart from a factored function. Here we go. Plot the x-intercepts and make a sign chart that represents the function shown below. Click to plot the x-intercepts. So how do I get my x-intercepts? Remember we said our x-intercepts come from the important numbers in our function. So this right here is going to give me one of my important numbers. Right here is going to give me another one of my important numbers. Ta-da! Okay, so I'm going to click and plot a point at -1 and at 3. Then I click done to say that I'm done. Click an area to change its sign. In other words, I need to make these either positive or negative. Okay, so how do I decide? Well, I look at this function and I have to test this function for each of the gaps. So let me look at my gap by first gap, and I'm just going to pick -10 for this gap. So negative 10 plus 1 squared, -10 minus 3 squared. A fun fact for you is that squared things are always positive. I don't really care what the number is, I just care about the sign. Negative times positive is negative, times positive again stays negative. Okay, so that means I need to come down here and I need to click to make this negative. Now I go into the next gap. I'm going to use 0. I love using 0 wherever I can. Negative 0 plus 1 squared, 0 minus 3 squared. The negative in front stays. Anything squared kicks out a positive answer. And my next gap is negative. So I come to my middle gap. I click. And then I go to the last one. I'm going to pick positive 10. Negative 10 plus 1 squared, 10 minus 3 squared equals negative. Anything squared always flips back positive. Negative times positive is negative. Times positive again doesn't do anything to change it. So I've filled my gaps in. I'm going to submit my answer. Hopefully own my greatness. Ta-da! Next problem. Okay. I need to do some erasing. Okay. Here we go. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my x-intercepts. One of them comes from right here. If we need to, we can actually set up solving it. Whoops. Equals 0. 3x equals 6. And I'm rushing it, but x equals 2. So I know I have an x-intercept at 2. Then my next one, the -3. X lies. So I've got some gaps. So click done. I make sure my intercepts are in the right spot. And then I've got gaps that I need to check. So here we go. Test the gaps. First one I'm going to do is -10. Negative 3 times -10 minus 6. -10 plus 3 squared. I've got a negative. I've got another negative. Anything squared is a positive. This is going to kick out a positive result. Negative times negative is positive. Times a squared makes a positive, so it's still positive. I'm going to go to my next gap. I'm going to use 0. 3 times 0 minus 6. 0 plus 3 squared. I've got a negative. 3 times 0 is 0. Minus 6 means it's another negative. And a positive, which means this one is still positive. So far, so good. I'm loving this. In the next gap, I'm going to try 10. Negative 3 times 10 minus 6. 10 plus 3 squared. I've got a negative in the front. 30 minus 6 is definitely a positive value. Anything squared is always positive. This last box is going to be a negative. So now it's time to fill the gaps. The first gap was a plus. The next gap was also a plus. We seal the deal with a negative. We submit it. We hope we aren't running out of time in our video. It says, yeah!